So you want to figure out why people lie, why partners lie, whether it's relationships, whether it's friendships, working relationships, people lie. And it's so frustrating, especially being an honest person, where you put your heart on the line and sometimes uncomfortably, sometimes to your detriment, you put your heart on the line to be honest and truthful. And it just makes no sense how your integrity is just overlooked and ignored and people can still be dishonest. Well, I'm about to take you through that in this video, and you're going to want to stick around for the end where I explain the main differences between liars and honest people. And it's going to help turn it into something that makes a lot of sense, so it's something that stops affecting you. Because we can't change people. We can't change how people choose to act, but we can change how it affects us and have something that's really powerful to help you do just that. What's up, you guys? My name is Mitch, and I help make spirituality practical so that you can apply it to manifest your dreams. And the big question today is sort of like, why? Why do people have to lie? Why do they lie to me? I'm honest all the time. I work at my honesty. It's a normal part of my day-to-day ritual to be truthful, and someone is so easily dishonest. And the big thing that happens is it's a how it should go versus how it actually is in their minds. Dishonest people find it easier to stick to the path they know because of one overarching theme that they live by, and it's fear. And most honest people come into a faith-based system. Now, the fundamental difference between this is when you are scared of an outcome, when you are scared of how things go, you start to try and control it. And in that desire to control how things are going to go, that's where the dishonesty comes in. So if somebody has been made to feel scared, whether it's of the consequences of something, the outcome of something, this is where their mind starts to create a scenario that doesn't look like the end. It doesn't make them scared. And in that fear-based approach, what they're doing is trying to prevent this horrible outcome that they're scared of. So the first thing to understand is that these people are actually suffering. Dishonest people are sitting in a fear-based place in their entire lives that they can't shake. They don't know how to get out of feeling scared. So what they do is they fall back to this default of, well, if I'm dishonest, people don't know the truth and I don't have to get hurt. And it's a crappy place to be. I'm sure you can imagine if you're an honest person who puts yourself on the line, even though there are consequences for your truth, they see that as strength. So the only way to get around that is to create something that's not true. And the way that they see the relationship is a big part to play in the fearing of something. Maybe they fear the relationship will come to its end. Maybe they fear how you feel will change. Maybe they're scared that if they do something wrong, their value is going to be reduced. Dishonest people are very stuck. And this is the thing to understand first off, because we can do certain things to stop having the lie come to us. And even after all these things, if they're still lying, it makes it so much easier to choose yourself and walk away if necessary from a relationship where someone's lying. Because a lot of the time, honest people get stuck there trying to figure out why they stay with the liar. And they're like, I don't know how to leave them, but this toxicity, and then you come back and you try to fix them, and there's all these excuses, and you in yourself as an honest person, I've been there, try to figure it out. And I figured out in my situation. So here's a little bit of a backstory. I was in a long relationship with somebody who was dishonest a lot. And I, as a brutally honest person, sometimes revealing in my nature because I can talk too much, which is why I decided let's do that on YouTube where people actually want to listen. So what it kind of boiled down to with me was on how to speak freely and not make the other person triggered in their fear receptors. And that whole response changes how they behave because it's not based on fear. So oftentimes I would find myself saying, if I ever catch you lying to me again, we're done. I'm not doing it. If you're lying to me, I'm not doing this anymore. And I would catch them in the lie again, and then I would leave and come back, and it was a whole toxic situation. But what would happen was I was hitting the fear response, so I was triggering the lie myself. And here's some of the things that they think of is like, if I live to this idea in my head and I'm dishonest, I can calculate something. I can calculate the outcome. It becomes predictable. It looks clear. If I do it this way, I can monitor these things, and then there's clarity in it. The next one is like, it makes sense. Oh, the relationship makes sense now if I carry on with this character and not my true self. At the core of somebody who lies is somebody who hasn't accepted parts of themselves or their self entirely. And you can imagine what this must feel like for you who is honest, sitting in a situation who's gone through that difficult battle of the choice. At some point in your life, it must have come where you were like, do I lie, tell the truth? And you might have told a white lie. But you realize within you, the consequence is very different. Within you, the consequence might be that guilt, that shadowing cloud that's like, I can't be dishonest, it's against my nature, this is horrible, and you might toil it over and over in your head. Fear-based people live there anyway, so they try and calculate where it's going to go by using this how it should go model in their head. But the problem with this, and this is what happens when lying becomes nature, is it's so limited. Because everything you're doing is now linked to this version of self that has this one-way path, because it's going to prevent this ultimate sort of like destruction of the way that they see, feel, or experience things. The next is it becomes stagnant because you can't move in any direction, or the lie's going to come out and you're going to get caught out. So you can see this is now the toxicity of it, and it gets boring. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole boring thing in depth. If you want to watch my video on how expectations create boredom in a relationship, I've actually made a video specifically about that. Now, basically, this creates expectations. This how it should go mentality makes you start thinking, well, I need certain things to happen to have it go this way, and there's the dishonesty. You can see it's a rabbit hole, and it's fear-based thinking. So understand this first off about somebody who's lying. There's fear. Even if they're lying to impress, they are scared of you not liking them. It's always fear. That is kind of a compliment to you on the power you hold in your space. That people feel the need to impress you. That people are scared to tell you certain things. Now, that's all good and well that we are, that as honest people, we sort of sit at a high level that people respect us. But how do we stop the lying? And that's where it comes into this part. Now, it's the way that we address situations that are going to make people be dishonest or not. There are 3 things that people ultimately want to feel, and we can make them feel that without fear so that they don't feel the need to be dishonest. They don't need to impress. So we make them feel those ways first. The thing that they're trying to achieve with the lie. We make them feel that, and it's actually quite easy. People want to feel these 3 things. They want to feel respected. That's ultimately what they want to experience, is a feeling of respect within themselves. The next thing they want to experience is feeling wanted. So if you make them feel this way, a lot of the tasks that make them lie are already done. And the last one is they want to feel appreciated. Now, if you make someone feel wanted, respected, and appreciated, you can omit a lot of the lying, because they're no longer going into fear about the relationship, because all the needs are already met off the bat. So if you're in a situation, you meet someone new, and you can see they're telling these larger than life stories that don't quite align with truth. Call it what it is, right? It doesn't quite align with truth, and you can spot this. And you're just like, why lie, dude? Or, ma'am, whatever, whoever's standing in front of you. If you find yourself in this situation, you can just look at them. First of all, when you meet someone, look them in the eye. And do not have expectations in yourself. Don't try and overpower. There's certain body language that tells people about this. But if you need to overpower and assert dominance, you're already making them having to compete. And that's what a lie ultimately is. It's a competition. And we don't want to get into competition. So the energy we must have to make them feel wanted, respected, and appreciated is we have to wear this in ourselves. Full acceptance of who we are. So comfort within our skin. We need to have this energy of knowing where we want to go. That's the second part. And the third is we have to look like we're having fun while we get there. Now, we should be having fun, and that becomes more authentic as well. But in that energy, what happens is when you meet someone along the way, you treat it as a gift. Never threaten. If this is your relationship that you're talking about and they keep lying, don't go to a threat. Don't threaten to walk away. Don't threaten to block someone off on their phone, whatever your threat is. Don't go into anger and threatening behavior. As soon as you do that, you're encouraging dishonesty, because now there's a punishment for the truth coming out. And if the truth coming out is punishable, then the truth won't come out. We say, oh, the truth always comes out. Not entirely. And this is the thing, and that's why we get caught up, and then we start playing a game, trying to dominate a situation, to force truth out, and that becomes our relationship's definition. Catching out the lie. Who the hell wants to live like that? It's so overwhelming. And I did it for 4 years. It was horrible. I'm now back with that same person, by the way, after a 1.5 year gap, and things are incredible. And I realized just how much I had an impact on the things that hurt me in the relationship. I encouraged them with my fear-based thinking, my lack of worth within myself. So now I've moved to faith-based thinking, treating them with the benefit of the doubt, not responding or even giving the idea of dishonesty attention. I don't even give it attention. It's not even a part of me. If they're lying, that's on them. I'm not going to bear the emotional consequences of someone else's behavior. If someone else wants to lie, that's on them. I'm going to deal with me. If I can't treat what you say at face value, not a relationship I want to be in. I should be able to listen to what you say and believe it. And that's a life I choose to live now, and that's based on faith. So what happens is, I am throwing myself into an unknown situation. That's how it is. It becomes the unknown. You're not sure what people are going to do. Are they going to be honest? Are they going to lie? I throw myself into the unknown and know within me that the outcome is going to be reflected the way it needs to for me to get better, for me to live a happier life. Next is uncertain. Of course, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not sure how the reaction is going to go. And then the spontaneity, however you say it, spontaneity, it's spontaneous. Because I don't have expectations which are created by fear. And that part is so exciting because now I can see who someone is, not who I want them to be. Next is it's free. These are the benefits of dealing with these discomforts, right? So these are comfortable things we fall into, but these are the consequences. And here is uncomfortable places to be, but these are the consequences. It's free. It's flowing. Things can just be what they are. And it's growing all the time because it's not stagnant from the dishonesty. And I just have faith. That's the part, is have faith that the version of you will be reflected to you that you choose to live by. If you're going to go there trying to catch someone out on a lie, you're going to find one. And you're going to force people to be in that space to want to be dishonest because of how tyrannical it might come across, you just being honest. So now I'm just going to be me and be full of faith that whatever you say is true. And if it's not, it will either come out or it won't, and I still get to live happy. So the main point of this is you going, I get to live free of the nervousness, anxiety, or fear of your dishonesty. This is why people lie. They get trapped in this how it should go, this model in their head. They want this predictability, clarity, and they want it to make sense. They don't realize these are the consequences or that it's fear-based. And this is how everything starts to break apart and lies become a normal thing. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If this is something that's added value to you, please let me know. Leave this video a like and comment because I do respond to my comments. So let me know what you thought about this video. I'm curious to hear how, if it clicked or added some resonance in your life. And if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any other videos that I release, helping make spirituality practical so that you can manifest your dreams. Thanks for watching and mad love.